Well, I guess the great collective unconscious that is tabletop role playing game listened to me when I said, maybe instead of making an entire game for an IP, you should just make a source book for an existing game. Because the people who are making the rebooted D20 modern role playing game, Evil Genius Games, including Jeff Grubb, their D20 Modern Everyday Heroes game, whose Kickstarter starts May 17th, they've just announced a whole bunch of licensed IPs that they've got their hands on to toss a little competition in the tabletop role-playing game market and compete, I guess, because of Free League and Modifius getting so many IPs. Now, the question with getting, any media IP as a role-playing game setting or game is, does it work? Is the universe big enough that you can actually run games for, days, years at a time, and it seems interesting? And of course, the perfect example is Star Wars and Middle-earth. Can you run games in the Star Wars universe knowing how that it does have a beginning, middle, and technically end? And yes, the answer is, of course you can. The Star Wars universe is big enough that you could tell hundreds of stories that have anywhere from absolutely nothing to do with the main arc or have some great interconnectedness with the main arc. Same with Lord of the Rings. There's huge time gaps in Lord of the Rings where we don't really know what's going on, between the time that Bilbo found the ring and the time Frodo left the Shire. There's, tons of stuff that could have been going on. So, yes, they have licensed a whole bunch of IPs, including Pacific Rim, Kong Skull Island, Highlander, The Crow, Escape from New York, Total Recall, Universal Soldier, and Rambo. So the question is, do these source books for Everyday Heroes have the world building that you could run an entire campaign for more, a long period of time, or are these just, one-shot adventures? Like the world of Universal Soldier. Yeah, you could probably run a campaign, at least a short campaign of, either the players being Universal Soldiers and, going on missions and trying to get out from underneath the control of the corporation and being hunted down by the organizations that want to stop them. It could be, a one-season TV show, so that could be a campaign. The world of Rambo. Could the world of Rambo be a campaign that you would want to run? So the post-Vietnam War player characters are individuals coming back, and now they're just out of work, exceptionally trained individuals trying to live in everyday society. No. Rambo is very specific about a very specific individual, and as we've seen throughout the history of cinema, anybody else who tried to make a film that was kind of like Rambo, i.e. Commando, it doesn't work. Rambo only works because of the time and the acting of Stallone. So no. Pacific Rim. Yes, definitely you could run a Pacific Rim campaign. You could be Jaeger pilots. You could be people just trying to survive in the world. You could be the one guy who realizes, if you just went to the sword in the beginning, you could be the other guy who's like, where's there? Yeah, I mean, everyday individuals trying to survive in the world of Pacific Rim where they're constantly under attack by kaiju. Yes, and Kong Skull Island, I would just run them together. Kong Skull Island gives you the rules for kaiju, and Skull Island could be a location in the Pacific Rim. So yeah, definitely those two go together, especially if they provide us with stats as TJ Storm mocapping as Godzilla. So if Pacific Rim's Kong Skull Island together as one IP would work as a campaign, but I want stats for TJ. Highlander. You play a Highlander. Or you play somebody from the organizations that are trying to hunt down the Highlander. We know that other Highlanders exist. We know that spin-off shows tried to happen. We know other companies have tried to do this IP, but, definitely it boils down to there can be only one. So every campaign episode is today the day so-and-so betrays me and cuts my head off. So that wouldn't work. Might be good for a one-shot or a short campaign, but no. The Crow. So you're either playing the Crow or you're playing somebody who's hunting down the Crow or somebody who the Crow is getting revenge on. And, and hunting you down one by one. There was only one crow, Eric Draven. We do know that in the universe of the comic book, anybody can become the crow based upon a certain series of situations. Could this be a campaign? No, probably not. Escape from New York. Dystopian post-apocalypse, running around the destroyed cities of the world trying to survive while the military... Yeah, I guess. It's basically just cyberpunk without a lot of cyber. If you made an escape from New York today, it would probably be way more cyberpunky and, just sort of trying to survive in a post-apocalypse city. I guess that could, how is that? That's not really any different than Twilight, 2000. So, yeah, I guess that would work as a campaign. Total Recall. Literally, the movie is about one person, both movies, and how their actions change that world. So could you play a campaign in the Total Recall universe? I mean, what is the Total Recall universe other than just sort of a cyberpunk dystopian future where this organization actually exists that does these virtual reality games and might be up to something sinister? Yeah, no, sorry. So some of these would definitely work as IPs that you could run campaigns in. Others, no, I think they wouldn't. Like Universal Soldier, yes. Rambo, no. Pacific Rim, Kong, Skull Island, same world. Yes. Highlander, no. The Crow, no. Escape from New York, yes. Total Recall, no. Anyways, if any of this interests you, head on down to your friendly local game store and ask them about the Everyday Heroes Kickstarter starting May 17th. That's Dream World Collectibles here in Ventura County. And I am the OGGM, broadcasting live from Site B here on Skull Island, waiting for the stats for TJ Storm as Godzilla. That's the news. There is some more news, but we'll talk about it later because it's the kind of ugly, racist, sexist kind of stuff that can be hot takes. Till next time, get off my dystopian future with my giant kaiju, you damn, there can be only one. There can be only one, and it's me, the OGGM, so subscribe.